Welcome to the video discussion of our second characteristic of a good tax, convenience. Who on earth could believe taxes could be convenient? We'll look at two perspectives on convenience, one from the government and the other from the taxpayer. From the government's perspective, taxes should be simple and cheap to administer. For example, the U.S. system of withholding income taxes from your wages as they are paid is very convenient for the government. The payments by taxpayers through their employer is much more reliable than payments made by non-wage earning taxpayers. In fact, the bulk of the tax gap, that's the term used to describe what the IRS expects to collect and what they do collect, is associated with small business owners as they are required to make estimated tax payments during the year on their own without help from their employer. The cost of collecting should also be low. The tax collector no longer walks from village to village collecting chickens for tax payments to the king. Instead, the U.S. relies on an honor-based reporting system, along with a few conveniences, such as employer withholding and reporting. From a taxpayer's perspective, paying taxes should also be simple and cheap. As far as cheap goes, it costs little to have taxes withheld from your wages. But simple, utter fail. Another element that describes convenience for taxpayers is the notion of predictability or certainty. We have a fairly certain tax system in the U.S., in that you have some chance to predict with reasonable reliability what your tax liability will be. Of course, the more likely a large tax reform looms politically, the less certain we are. Additionally, Congress got into a bad habit in the late 2000s and early 2010s of passing tax legislation very late in the year, retroactive back to the start of the year. This meant that taxpayers had to guess what congressional intent was during the year until legislation was offered and passed. Given the current environment in Washington, I doubt those days are behind us. For example, the most recent tax reform includes a large number of provisions that are expected to, under tax law, expire in 2025. As to how many of those will actually expire, well, no one really knows. That brings us to the end of video T2D on convenience. Our next video moves to the third good characteristic, efficiency. Thanks for watching.